I'm often asked, how can one practice in a world filled with strong negative energies? Should we cultivate humility, as the great saints once did? Indeed, the world can be aggressive, dynamic, ego-driven, and power-oriented. So the question arises, how is a yogi to live in such a world, and how should humility be practiced in that case? We must first understand the true nature of humility. And to do that, we begin with Mumukshutva, the yearning for liberation. When you have a strong longing for liberation, a powerful intention to attain moksha, then Viveka, the wisdom of discernment, arises. You begin to see clearly what supports your liberation and what does not. You naturally avoid the things that hinder your path simply by not engaging with them. This is not yet humility, it is Viveka. You make choices aligned with your path and follow them. This is crucial for the yogi, to remain steadfast on one's path. Whatever happens in the world is still of the world. It is the world of humans, the problems of limited beings, the karma of beings bound by limitation. But the moment you recognize your precious human birth and awaken to the understanding that your choice is liberation, moksha, and make a firm resolve. May I attain liberation in this very life. May I realize enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. You cease to be an ordinary human. You become one chosen by the Divine Spirit. This is not merely your personal decision. It means that the Divine Spirit within you has awakened. It has reached out from deep within your mind, inspired you, and guided you to choose the path of liberation and follow it. This moment, when you become receptive to divine grace, to Shat-sampatti, and accept the great decision to follow the path of moksha, is of immense significance. It sets you apart from those who have not made such a decision. A mumukshu is a seeker of liberation. They must separate themselves from those who are pursuing other aims. A mumukshu is one who seeks God, absolute wisdom, liberation, and enlightenment. Their passionate longing for that, Mumukshutva, is the driving force, the inspiration, the will, the divine yearning. All of this is a blessing from above, the awakening of the inner Shiva, because only he can inspire such an extraordinary goal. On our own, we would not even think of it. This means we are blessed and belong to a special class of beings, the mumukshus. A mumukshu is also a sadhu, one who practices sadhana and walks their path. Those who are not mumukshus, not seeking God, not striving for liberation, not engaged in spiritual practice, are simply living their lives under the influence of their vasanas, karma vasanas, the urge to act, bhoga vasanas, the desire for enjoyment, shastra vasanas, the drive to understand the world through concepts. The next essential quality is viveka, discernment. We must distinguish clearly who we are, where our true community is, and who belongs to other paths. We must discern the community of sadhus, the community of mumukshus, and the broader society of people walking worldly paths. This is not pride or a sense of superiority. I am better than others. I am a mumukshu, chosen by Shiva, and others are unworthy. No. To think that way is to lose the right view. We must respect and love all beings, but at the same time clearly disengage from one company in order to join another, the company of sadhus, the company of mumukshus. That is why we need viveka. When discernment arises and we separate ourselves from one part of culture to join another, a natural dispassion, vairagya, is born. Viveka is discernment, knowing your path and your values. Vairagya is dispassion, not walking with those whose aims do not align with yours, and instead aligning with those who uphold spiritual values. It's a clear realization. I walk the path of liberation. When we have viveka, we no longer confuse our path with someone else's. We allow the beings of samsara to live as they will. We no longer try to fight for the ideals of those who are not walking our path. It would be like entering a forest to fight for the rights of rabbits, hares, or insects, battling wolves and foxes. We cannot win that fight, and we will lose the chance to walk our own path. We must detach from that. We must follow the path of Vairagya. Understand clearly what your path is and do not adopt others. That is Viveka and Vairagya. We look upon others with love and compassion, but we walk our own path. This is an individual journey, and we must hold it clearly in our awareness. This is the path of moksha. In his text Viveka Chudamani, Sri Shankaracharya describes the fourfold qualification of a spiritual seeker, sadhana chatushtaya. the 4 essential disciplines before one can proceed on the path of Advaita, the path of non-dual Shaivism. Viveka, the ability to discern truth from illusion, your path from another, true Dharma from worldly ideology. Vairagya, dispassion from all that obstructs the path of liberation. Mumukshutva, the passionate yearning for liberation. I walk my path and do not let the outer world hinder me. When these are developed, the yogi can begin cultivating the Shat-sampatti, the 6 inner virtues. Shama, tranquility and peace of mind. Dhamma, control over the senses. Uparati, non-involvement in the worldly. Titiksha, forbearance. Shraddha, faith. Samadhana, steadfastness in meditation. Humility arises as the fruit of this training. It is not merely outer restraint or inability to respond to aggression. It is the inner strength and maturity of a sadhaka who clearly understands their path to liberation and is detached from the world. True humility is to live in dispassion with viveka. We cannot always influence aggressive people where they are, but we can intensify the light of our soul, manifest a different culture, a different tunnel of reality, one of love, compassion, ahimsa, non-violence, and harmony. We can inspire others with these ideals and point to the path. That is what truly matters. But to do that, we must practice, walk our path, purify the soul, and serve the Dharma, serve the divine powers of enlightenment. That is where our true humility lies. May you succeed in this.